Well, it's the Nitro RC Nerds here, and I get a lot of questions concerning the Offna Hyper 7, either via comments on my channel or messages sent directly to my channel or whatever. A lot of it has to do with the engine on it, so I thought what I would do is just go ahead and film some real-life troubleshooting as I go through and figure out what the hell's going on with this. Short version is, it was running okay. The last time I took it out was actually for the short ramp competition. I think I was driving, and I don't remember, but I didn't notice anything funny about the engine. I took it out after that, and I noticed something was just not right. Essentially what was happening, it was leaning itself out within a matter of seconds, like within 10 seconds. And it wasn't an idling thing like with the 810. I mean, this sucker would just lean itself out within 10 seconds, and I'd take the temps and they'd be 310 degrees. Not good. To that end, I have more gallons through this engine than any of my others, and I've been through a lot with this engine. I've taken really good care of it. It's starting to kind of turn into an old man with respect to engine age, but again, I've taken good care of it, so hopefully I can keep it going strong. So I started it, and I took the temperature immediately, after it idled for about 10 seconds, and it was at 121, so I was thinking, okay, that's kind of a good sign. Then I realized that my damn temp tuner was on Celsius. So, I mean, within 5-10 seconds of idling, it shot up to 200 and whatever that is, 248 degrees, 250 degrees. Then you just saw it run, and as soon as I punched the throttle, I mean, it just leans itself out. And after that, just quick run, I took the temperature on it, it was already in the 280s. And this is actually after I'd already richened out both needles, probably a full turn. So at this point, let's just go ahead and revert the needles back to their stock settings. All right, so interestingly enough, I'm having an issue starting it, and I'll show you. I'll turn over just for a second. Hopefully, I won't be feeling it start, but a lot of times if I give it a shot with the heat gun, so, this, and I know for a fact this is good. I've tried another one as well. Not going to hurt, but. So at this point, it is kind of interesting because now I'm wondering about the glow plug. So let's go ahead and take a look, and hopefully that solves all my problems. I doubt it will, but again, you have to just go through and rule everything out. All right, the glow plug is out. Let's take a looky look. See what we get. So that's kind of, I don't know if you guys can see it. I mean, it is glowing, but not real bright. I've got some new ones. I've also got some ones that are used, but still in very good shape, such as this one. That glows much brighter. Even though I still think the other one should have been able to start it. So, you're watching real-time troubleshooting. Let's see if we can get this to work. Alright, so at this stage I can't get it started. And believe it or not, this is probably the first time ever with this buggy, or this engine at least, that I could not start it. So, a few little things I'm going to go through. The variable here is I changed the needle settings back to stock, and I was thinking about it, and I believe that's really the first time that I've ever set them back to stock. So I want to go and make sure that I did it correctly. I mean, I'm confident I did, but you never know, because that is the one variable here. And I'll tweak those a little bit and then see what's going on. So I'm sure I'll have it started here soon. All right, the needle settings was definitely it. I've tweaked it and it starts up like a champ now. And so here's what I did, because I think this is pretty interesting. And if you have one of these buggies, specifically this engine, you want to certainly pay attention here, because I just learned something. So the first thing I did is I went back and I looked online, or actually just on my computer, where I have an electronic copy of the engine manual for the Mack Star 28, and that's what this engine is. If you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but it is the Mack Star 28. And it's 4.5 turns on the top end, 2.5 turns out on the bottom end. Well, I started looking at it, and the bottom end, 2.5 turns out, is nowhere near flush. It's in there probably at least 2 millimeters. So I went and got the hard copy that actually came with the buggy. And that is, for whatever reason, for the Mack, I guess the Mach 0.28, so it's MACH 0.28. They had completely different stock settings, and it was, I think, 3 turns out on the top end and only 2 turns out on the bottom end. So what I did, and I'm smart, I actually took a picture way back in the day when I first got this of the needle settings. And you can take a look here now and see what they are, at least for the bottom end. And as you can see, it's flush. So I guess the moral here is go by what you see versus what the guides tell you. You know, maybe it's a good idea just to take pictures of your needles when you first get them, or somehow just make note of the stock settings. So I did run it just for a little bit, and it seemed okay. The temps were probably in the 190, 200 degree range. What I'm going to do now is take it out and run it a little bit harder and begin to tune it, and then monitor and see how it does. Also, I'm a little bit nervous about running this on the street right now. I haven't had a runaway yet in my new neighborhood, but the battery pack, or the battery holder for the AA batteries, whatever you call that, is starting to go out on it again. So I can have this fail-safe set however I want, but that's not going to help it if that goes out. We'll see. They're all out there right now as well, so who knows, maybe we'll get some footage of a good runaway. Well, that didn't work. As soon as I took it out, it had probably 30% of its normal performance, and I thought, okay, well, it's just really, really rich. So once I started to lean it to where I was getting, any sort of, quote, normal performance out of it, the temps shot up to about 260. And at that point, it only had about 50% of where it normally is. And again, the temps went up really quickly on it, and you could hear it was starting to cut out. So at least what we've learned is it's not the pressure system, it's not the glow plug, and we've put it back to its real original stock settings. So I'm going to end this as part 1, and then what we're going to do in part 2 is we're just going to crack open the engine and figure out what the heck is going on inside of here. But we'll get it figured out, no doubt about it. Thanks so much, and have a great day.